ALTO KNIGHTS is out now. Another mob movie that hits the theaters starring Robert De Niro. And it was okay, but there are a lot of things in this movie that could draw somebody going to see it for the storytelling to think it is not worth the watch. But let's get right into it. ALTO KNIGHTS is detailing the true story of Frank Costello and Vito Genovese and really the power struggle that they both had. One was trying to escape the mob life. The other was entering a period of what you could consider a rambunctious, uncharacteristic way of taking power. Now, as you watch this movie, Robert De Niro is taking on the role of both, and it is a overall decent movie. But there are some flaws that really stick out, and it does make it a little bit hard to watch. As you watch the movie, you are seeing really the beginnings of their friendship, where they were as kids, ultimately to their rise of power in the mafia, ultimately to the demise and the fall of their friendship, and really putting the mafia and both of them at war with each other. Except the war, in a sense, is really one-sided with Vito. Now, as you watch the movie, you are going to get a lot of storytelling, and you're going to see the different aspects of their lives. You're going to see Frank really settle down, really moving in a pace where nobody is able to trace him, where Vito becomes reckless. Vito is wanting things done his way. He wants the power. He wants the reign. And it ultimately will lead to the demise of him and the whole crew. Now, as you watch this movie, I think the one part that really stands out, and it really was a turnoff in a sense, was the choppy storytelling. In the first half of the movie, I felt lost. In many ways, the cutaways and really the telling of the stories made it hard to watch. It made it very difficult to sit back and understand why it was being told the way it was. But in the second half of the movie, I will give them credit. It does get a lot more interesting. I think one of the hard parts to get used to in the film is having it narrated by Robert De Niro. Now, not because he does a bad job, but he's narrating as music's playing, and ultimately it puts you in a perspective of figuring out what is actually taking place. Now, as you sit back, that second half of the movie really picks up and the storytelling is excellent. I think that makes it worth the watch and very interesting in many senses. Now, this is not a Goodfellas. This is not a Casino. This is not even The Irishman, which I will admit I was not a fan of. That 3-hour movie was just too long. But ultimately, ALTO KNIGHTS is a watchable movie. The ratings are out. The critics are already blasting the movie saying it's not good. It's not worth going to go see. But I don't believe that. For me, ALTO KNIGHTS is about a 3 out of 5. And like I said, if you could get through the first part of the movie and the storytelling that's going on, you're going to find some type of enjoyment from this movie. Now, in many ways, with it being based on a true story, there are some liberties that are taken by the director to kind of wrap the film all together and make it his own. But it is based on real events. And I think in many ways, if you are into movies that tell those kind of stories, you will enjoy it. But ALTO KNIGHTS is out now. For me, it is about a 3 out of 5. It is watchable. Is it a movie that I would watch over and over again? Probably not, because I am a fan of Goodfellas and Casino. But ultimately, it is worth the time to watch it. What I will respect, too, is the director gave this a 2-hour runtime. In many ways, if it went longer, I felt that it would have left the audience a little bit more confused. Do I think this movie is going to perform well at the box office? To be honest, I don't. I was the only person in the theater, and I think that kind of shows where this film could go. But it is definitely worth the watch. But ALTO KNIGHTS is out now. Go watch it. Go check out the other reviews I have posted. Go make sure to hit the subscribe button, and I will talk to you all later.